we're here. We are actually 1 year or maybe slightly more after we announced our partnership with Volkswagen as Innoviz as their LiDAR supplier, and that's a huge honor for us to be part of the journey of such a big OEM. And I'm really honored to have Gero here, who comes from AUDI, and I'd be very happy, Gero, if you can maybe share with everyone here, tell us a little bit about you, what's your role, and maybe how you think about autonomous driving as a whole.
Okay, let me just follow up on what you said on humbleness, and so I think it's a perfect entry point for a discussion about what we're doing here, because we are on a journey as well with Omer's company and with Gero as well, who serve as a central point for sensor development. However, I'm the person in AUDI who is responsible for the whole application, for the whole system, and the person that signs it off finally. And that only works also with a good and close relationship with the critical or most important bits, and LiDAR certainly is one of them. Yeah, and I think humbleness plays a huge role in what we're doing together, because we are moving on. Yeah, it's nothing static here, because we have to basically make decisions on principles first, I would say, and then fix things on the fly. Right? This is very much the spirit of what we're doing, anticipating very often huge decisions that come in the future, and that sets a good tone, I think, to look at this in a humble way and just being united in trying to really make a footprint and bringing innovation to the market. And if I can introduce myself a little bit to this community, I'm more than 25 years in the automotive industry. I'm not very often on stages, honestly speaking, so this is really because Omer just was in front of my office and said, hey, are we going to do this? I'm not a PR person, but I think this is really important, that we have, from time to time, we open the door and say, okay, what's really going on in the industry? How are these things evolving? It's much more fluid and much more exciting than many people might think. Yeah. So I think I always was majoring on bringing innovation to the markets, regardless in which field. And since 5 or 6 years, I'm deeply involved in autonomy and stuff like that. Right. So that's a little bit of my background here.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Gero. So it seems clear that Volkswagen and Audi are on a path to become a leader in autonomous driving, and it is important for Audi and Volkswagen. Can you talk a little bit about what you're trying to achieve and why it's important part of your strategy?
Yeah, I think leading needs to have a reason. Yeah, I think we are a little bit beyond trying to be first or whatever. Yeah, and probably we are a little bit more cautious than many others in the field as well. What it means for me is that we want to bring some meaningful experience to the customer. Yeah, that means long stretches of level 3 driving, basically mainly on highways, with a very safe feeling and confidence into the system to enable our customers to do something else. To me, the whole trend right now with eyes on the road, hands-free driving, basically is just the first. It will raise the appetite of customers to have something that allows them to keep their eyes off the road for a longer time. Yeah, and this is something that really drives me. And the other thing is that I think everything AD and ADAS needs to really work in difficult conditions. Yeah, this is also what we're trying to achieve. We're not trying to achieve something that only works under blue skies and stuff like that, but it really needs to help when really the going gets tough, when it's really getting difficult out there on the road, and we want to be there and just be helpful and creating a meaningful experience for our customers. Yeah, and as we are the customers also, or we have a customer or a partnership here with Innoviz as well, I need to mention that listening to what we try to achieve plays a key role also in selecting the partner for technology. Yeah? Because it all boils down to some, details, on every bit. And this is very much the case here, and it's a pleasure to work together. right?
Thanks. Gero, Audi has quite meaningful amount of experience in developing level 3. What you'd say are the biggest lessons learned you have so far and possibly have changed as a result of that?
Yeah, I think we learned that safety matters a lot. Yeah, you do see some quick shots out there, and we don't want to use customers as guinea pigs. That's one. Yeah. So that's one lesson, and the other one is that what we're trying to build here is not another box that goes into a car. It's the driver. Yeah, and it interacts with almost every system in the car, and that requires a different setup for organization as well, and for collaboration. Organization is something internally, right? Can't speak about this here. But collaboration means that in the case of perception, or specifically LiDAR, we need a huge openness, because we can't have, unknown elements or, networks or AI that we don't really get our hands on. Yeah, we need to be very, very transparent, because otherwise I can't sign it off, and I can't stand in front of a judge, or when we need to explain the vehicle behavior in some critical situations.
Are you experiencing that openness from your supplier?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be here if this wouldn't be the case. Right?
Okay, good. Let me know if not. Okay. So on the LiDAR side, there are really a large number of LiDAR companies out there, which you probably know. A lot of people find it very hard to differentiate between them. Can you talk a little bit about the process Audi and CARI had used in selecting a LiDAR supplier, and how ultimately you decided that Innoviz could be your direct supplier?
Yeah, I think I'll start with the first question. So if you look at LiDAR from a cost perspective, it's not where it needs to be yet. I mean, we do all understand that. And if we would have cracked that nut, we would see LiDAR in many other applications as well, in level 2 and in NCAP applications and so on and so forth. Yeah. Today, a viable system from a cost point of view has no LiDAR. Let me just put that out as a little bit of a well-judged provocation here, right? Yeah. If we now move into level 3 requirements, we do have a huge experience in corner cases, and the requirements that come from these corner cases to detect certain things. And the other thing is that we need these detections to be at a very low failure rate. And this is where an additional mode comes into play. And in my understanding today is that we definitely need a LiDAR for everything like level 3 or higher. So as a part of a multi-mode perception system. Yeah. I think the evolution of LiDAR has not come to an end yet, because of course you need to have business cases for your investors, etc. You need to have certainty about product volumes. No one knows really how the overall market will evolve. And so there's a succession of various technology steps we have in front of us in terms of a technology roadmap, and I think you are aware of that as well. Yeah, so this is not coming to a standstill. There's no saturation in LiDAR technology yet, but we have to choose a baseline for a certain point in time, and then we have to work towards that with professional means. That means that not only the technical performance coming from our corner case understanding plays a role in the selection, but also the besides the pricing, etc. But it also makes a lot of sense for us to look into the capabilities of something profane as project management. Yeah. So how is really the progress managed? How can we really assure that we get to the target? How can we assure that we see risk very early on? That played a role as well, a huge role in the selection. And I think overall, yeah, Innoviz in that case here was chosen as the best overall solution for a future electronic platform. Yeah. I can't hear anyone.
You said everything right. I think that there's nothing yet to add, I think. I think that.
Yeah, but the funny thing is really, I think in the long run, we need to see much the evolution towards much cheaper systems with much richer information also coming into making it more relevant for machine learning, etc., and for volume, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But looking at Volkswagen Group, I think what we're doing in Audi, and I do have the role for all the brands in the Volkswagen Group for level 3 and upwards for passenger cars. I think it is important to have a partner for a technology company where you can start out in a kind of a high-priced premium product, and then within the same group you can scale it to a larger volume. Yeah, and this is exactly the case in Volkswagen Group. Yeah, so we have everything from high-end luxury cars to very simple means for transportation and mobility. Yeah.
Yeah, what I can share maybe since the day that we were nominated more than a year ago, that the discussion with your team and other teams within Volkswagen is that really there is a huge variety of, I would say, platforms that are on a path to become also automated. Either it's level 3 or level 4. And working with the technology teams on the different brands is a huge honor for us. And I'm sure that Innoviz will continue to grow from that. So we are here at EcoMotion. My last question, we're celebrating Israeli innovation for automotive. Do you think we will see more collaboration between Audi and Israel tech companies? And what would be a good tip for the technology companies that want to work with Audi?
First of all, I do think that for me personally, I mean, Audi is connected to the kind of technology scene in Israel, but I personally would love to get more connected. I have high regards. I have a few very good friends there, and I would really look forward to extending these friendships. Yeah, it need to be structured in a way. For me, it always starts with technology, honestly speaking. Yeah, so from the idea, and then from the means to bring idea to a market. And as I said, I'm a first principles guy, so if it makes sense from a first principles point of view, we can always have a chat. Yeah, and see if it's worth a joint journey, right?
So I'm here that in case that on the day that you'll visit Israel, Gero, I'm happy to be the house that will invite the different startups in Israel to meet you.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you for that.
So, talk to me. Okay, thank you very much, Gero. Appreciate it a lot.
Okay, so have a good day there, and use the network opportunities locally. I hope sooner or later I'll be there, maybe next year. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Gero.